Hello, everybody. I want to thank you guys for joining us here today. It's Brandon from Roomvo here at our first of our three-part Roomvo Success University webinar series. It's really kind of crazy to think that over about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we had no Roomvo on any retailer's websites. And in a little over a year, we now have Roomvo on over 5,000 retailer websites across North America. And what started as just a handful of brands is now over 100 brands available in the tool today. So that's just a testament to you guys, and a big thank you to you guys for kind of welcoming our tool with open arms, and so much so that we actually broke Jim's Zoom capacity today. He had to actually increase the capacity of this call right before the call because of the number of registrants. So thank you very much. This really is all for you guys. In that past year, we have done a ton of improvements to the visualizer. We have focused on improving the quality of the visualizer. We have made it easier for you guys to navigate the visualizer. And now we're taking the next step. And we want to give you guys way more tools and resources beyond just the visualizer as a thank you for being a part of our network, and as a thank you for continuing to, believe in us. This is a tool that is totally made by you guys. We listen to your feedback. We hear all of your stories, and we adjust the tool accordingly. It's really humbling to be able to hear all the success stories, because we know that, in good times, this is a great tool, but these are really difficult times. And this is a phenomenal tool for those times. And on that same vein, we wanted to provide you guys with a special series brought to you by Jim Armstrong. And that first part is all about getting customers during COVID. It's obviously very much so with the times. And we hope that with the strategies that you guys are going to learn today, you guys are going to be able to really take these challenging times and turn something positive with them. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to wrap up because you guys are already sick of hearing me speak. I'm going to turn it over to Jim. At the very end, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you have questions throughout this, definitely write them down. There's an area here where you can absolutely put your questions, and we'll get to them at the end. And at the very end, I have hyped up this big announcement from Roomvo. For the last few emails, I think that there will be a mob waiting for me if I don't get that announcement out. So I promise I will deliver. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Jim. Jim Augustus Armstrong is internationally known as a trainer and a coach for flooring dealers. He is the founder and the president of Flooring Success Systems, which is a marketing services and coaching program for dealers. He is the author of 3 flooring industry books, including How Floor Dealers Can Beat the Boxes and Escape the Cheap Price Rat Race of Doom Forever. He has spoken at flooring industry events around the world, the biggest ones: Surfaces, Coverings, Domotex. He is the marketing mastery columnist from Floor Covering News, and he produces and co-hosts the monthly FC News Marketing Mastery webinars. Since 2007, thousands of dealers across the US and Canada have relied on Jim's methods to get more customers, to get higher margins, to gain an unfair advantage over the box stores, and to live the lifestyle they deserve. He and his wife and business partner, Jolynn, live in Colorado. Jim enjoys playing guitar, fly fishing, and skydiving. He was going to do this while skydiving, but he has way too much to say. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to turn it over to him.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Brandon. A couple things that come to mind right off the bat is, first of all, I've been working in the flooring industry, writing for FC News. We launched Flooring Success Systems in 2007, so over 13 years. And it is a minority of companies that are willing to do what you guys are doing at Roomvo here, Brandon, and bring education and go that extra mile to help dealers beyond just the core, services that you're offering. Roomvo is a great product, and you all should have it. If for some reason you don't, you need it. But for a company to step up and beyond, above and beyond, and care about your, overall success, I really applaud that, because not every company in this industry will do that. So good job, Brandon, and I'm honored to be here. Been excited to come on and share. So let's go ahead and first of all, put in the question box. I'm curious, put a yes in the question box if you've ever attended either one of my live events or a webinar, ever one of my trainings? I'm just curious to see how many new people we have here. So just put a yes in the question box if that is, if this is the first time attending one of these trainings that I've done, either live or on a webinar. Daryl says, new guy. Hey, there's Mike Phoenix. Mike, good to hear from you, man. Oh, Mike and I go way back, since 2008, exactly. Fantastic. Mike has a very successful flooring store. Loved working with Mike. We worked with him in Flooring Success Systems for a few years. Great guy. So it's good to see some familiar faces. Fantastic. Okay, so we have some people who have a lot of yeses. Okay, well, that's a good sign. You dared to call. My God, a lot of yes. Here's some newbies. Anne Marie Nash is new. Nice to meet you, Anne. I'm glad you made it. Shauna Milton is new. Welcome, Shauna. Marcel Niddle, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. He says, new guy. All right. Really honored that you guys, you haven't heard me speak. You haven't been to one of my live events. You're taking a chance. You're taking an hour out of your day to be here to better your business. And I am going to do everything in my power. My goal is so that you can walk away with new tools that are actually, you can implement literally starting in the next 24 hours. That's my goal for you. So while we're going through this, I want you to take notes. And what I don't want you to do is get overwhelmed. I want you to take notes, every idea, because I'm going to cover a lot of material, a lot of things that you guys can put in place. What I'm going to want you to do is by the end, pick one of those strategies that pops out to you and put a big circle around it or highlight it so you implement immediately. Tony Robbins says that if you're going to make a change in your life or in your business, do something today, no matter how small. So look for that one thing that just stands out to you and really speaks to you as I'm going through all these strategies, okay? All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen now. And are you able to see that okay, Brandon? Okay. So strategies to get more customers during COVID. Now, these are strategies what we're going to cover today that are going to be beneficial to you no matter what the economic or marketplace situation is, okay? We started Flooring Success Systems in 2007. And we all remember what happened in 2008. The entire market collapsed. Worst economic market since the Great Depression. We had dealers between 2007 and 2012 during this horrific recession actually grow their businesses, okay? And we're going to share with you the strategies that they use. So this is something that's been proven to work, okay, in other tough economic times. These strategies work great, like Brandon said. You know, the Roomvo, the Roomvo visualizer is great during good times, but when things are going, you know, not so great, then these effective strategies become even more important. So you're going to learn the same strategies used by these dealers. Mike Phoenix. He's on I have you at the top there, buddy. He said our revenue is up 79.3% over last year. Mike was kind enough to send that comment in back when we were working together. He was part of Flooring Success Systems during a really, really rough economic time. Same with Tim from Minnesota. He said, I stopped wasting $15,000 to $20,000 a month on advertising and my sales went up. Mark said, I went from nearly closing my doors to being booked out for weeks. Steve said, my revenue has doubled and tripled. And Brent said, I've made an extra $250,000 in revenue so far. Now, these are testimonials from back between 2007 and 2012. That's all these wonderful dealers gave us these reviews back then. So why am I using these older, I mean, we have testimonials from, last month. I mean, we've got very recent success stories. I'm sharing these with you because for a lot of dealers, COVID has been, they've lost a lot of business. There's been floor dealers who have gone out of business. Now, depending on your market area, you may have more business than you can handle, okay? And what you want to do, if that's the case, is you want to leverage this temporary boost in business into a permanent new level of success. And the strategies that we're going to look at today are going to help you do that, okay? So instead of this just being a bubble that bursts, and yeah, it was nice, we got some extra business, let's take the success you're having now and turn it into a whole new level of permanent success for your dealership. And the strategies are going to help you do that. If you're struggling right now, if you are, if COVID has, knocked you on your butt and you're experiencing that hardship, these testimonials should be an inspiration to you, because these guys were able to implement these strategies during a very, very, very tough time and not only survive, but outlast their failed competitors. Some of these guys, they got a revenue boost in part because they outlasted their failed competitors and scooped up the additional market share, okay? That's how powerful these strategies are. A benefit that I bring to the table, unlike, there's a lot of great speaking and training in our industry, and you can go to seminars and webinars and so forth. A lot of times it's kind of generic. The training is good, but you have to translate it into working in your flooring business. Every single strategy you're going to see today has been used and has been proven to work in flooring dealerships just like yours, and is being used right now. So these are real world strategies, okay? It's not textbook theory. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is the 3 tiers of marketing. We've all had the experience of, wow, what do I do to promote my business? I mean, put a yes in the question box if this sounds familiar. You have somebody from, Google Ads call you up or reach out to you and say, you ought to advertise with us. You have somebody from Home Advisor or Angie's List say, you ought to advertise with us. You reach out, somebody calls or emails you or comes in your door, and it's from, some local charity or some local advertising medium, a radio station, television, what have you. And you're just bombarded with all these options. Put a yes in the question box if that sounds familiar. You've had that happen to you. Yep. Yes, 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 of course, we all have. It can be overwhelming and confusing. Where do I invest my marketing dollars at? And this concept that I'm going to show you right now transformed my business over 20 years ago, and it's transformed the businesses of a lot of floor dealers. It's the 3 tiers of marketing. I didn't invent this. I learned this from marketing great Dan Kennedy. And when I heard this, I went, oh my God, this just makes everything so simple. So next time somebody comes in through your door or sends you an email or calls you and says, you ought to buy my whatever advertising they're selling, you can overlay it on this template and see where it fits in and whether or not you should purchase that advertising. First tier is your warm marketing, okay? That's your low-hanging fruit. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. Tier 2 is cold marketing. That's to people who do not know you, like you, and trust you, okay? You're reaching out, trying to get strangers to buy from you. Same with tier 3. Now, the way that you want to there's no strategy in here that's bad. It's not like, well, is Google ads better than TV or better than print ads or whatever. That's not how I want you to look at it. I want you to look at it in terms of prioritization. What you want to do is begin with tier 1. Get tier 1 fully up and running in your business. And that includes us having a selling system, a very strong sales system, okay? So that when you're driving traffic into your store, doesn't it make sense to make sure that your salespeople are maximizing the amount of closed sales? Okay, because if they're not, you're wasting a lot of advertising and marketing money. Okay, so having a strong selling system, marketing to your past customers. Folks, your past customers are the only people on the planet who have proven that they'll give you money in exchange for flooring. Yet most floor dealers ignore their past customers. They have no kind of marketing in place for them. Referral marketing, having a system in place to generate referrals and having referral partnerships. You want to get that up and running first, and then move on to tier 2. And tier 2 includes things like search engine optimization, Google ads, social media, purchased leads, direct mail to a purchased list, et cetera, et cetera. This is not a tier 2 has dozens and dozens of potential strategies. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you an idea to know what tier 2, the definition is. Tier 3 is radio, TV, and billboards. It's not targetable really, except to large geographic regions. And there's a lot of waste involved because you're just reaching everybody in a large geographic region. It's very expensive. The way you want to roll this out is first get your tier 1 up and running, then begin investing money into tier 2. Then and only then you might want to start investing in tier 3. Okay. But you want to use luxury marketing dollars for tier 3. Okay. Now, the giant problem that I see in our industry is 98% of floor dealers get this completely backwards. They start with tier 2 and 3 and completely ignore their tier 1. I've been in live seminars at surfaces and coverings and so forth, and I'll have a room full of 120 people, and I'll say, how many of you market to your past customers on a regular basis? I might get 2 people raise their hands, maybe 5 on a good day. Okay. I've worked personally, coached hundreds of floor dealers, and almost none of them, maybe 2%, had any kind of strong tier 1 system in place. Okay. So if you want to create differentiation in your market, if you want to get an advantage over your competitors, if you want to do something that I guarantee your competitors are not doing, you get your tier 1 up and running, and it's going to create a complete, a new ball game in terms of differentiating yourself from competitors. All the testimonials that you just saw, tier 1 marketing. Okay, that's what made the difference for these people. All right. All right, tier 1 is your low-hanging fruits, the easiest customers to get. Okay, least expensive. When you're going after your tier 1, you're going to get better results quicker for less money. Now, that doesn't mean you don't move on to tier 2. We teach people how to do tier 2. In fact, we have some tier 2 marketing services that we provide to dealers, but we always start them off with tier 1. Okay. It's that important. Okay. So I want to be very clear on this. I'm not criticizing tier 2 and tier 3. They have their place, but they need to be prioritized correctly. All right. So this is Jerome Novovieski. He's a dealer from Texas. He's in Brownwood. He has Brownwood Decorating, and I've been working with Jerome since around 2010 or so. And Jerome began his business. He started a flooring business with a partner, and then eventually just took it over himself. And like many floor dealers, he found himself, he had this dream of having a business, being his own boss, being able to, provide more for his family, better house, better car, better opportunities, be able to spend more time with his family because, he's his own boss. He gets to dictate his own hours. And what he found was that his dreams of owning a flooring store became more of a nightmare. He found himself working longer and longer hours. As the business began to grow, he was putting in, having to wear more and more hats. He would come home at 5 o'clock. Jerome's married, he has 3 kids, and he would get home at 5, have a quick dinner so he could spend some time with his family, then go back to the office and work for another couple of hours. He was working weekends. He told me, I didn't know what the word vacation meant, okay? And he was stressed out, miserable, just wondering if he made the biggest mistake in the world getting into the flooring business. Well, fast forward, Jerome began to implement some of the strategies that we're going to cover today. And he went from working, a business that was, doing $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, it was under $1 million, to, 1.7, 1.8 million, and doing that pretty quickly. His margins went from below 30%. His average margins were below 30%. He was able to increase them to 50%. His clients, he's often booked out for 3 months at a stretch. If he's only booked out for a month, he tells me it feels like he's slow. And his clients are willing to wait for him. Even if it takes him 2 to 3 months, they're willing to wait and pay his higher prices because he's done such an incredible job at creating differentiation. Remember, I mentioned at the beginning, the tier 1 helps you create that differentiation. Okay, so people are willing to pay more. Jerome now, he's hired a team. He has a great staff. He works, Monday through Friday. He quits at 5. He, comes in at a decent hour in the morning. He takes a lot of 3-day weekends. A while back, his son was participating in a traveling baseball league, and they were able to take weekends and go travel with him. So by growing his business this way, he was not only able to make more money, which is important, but he was able to transform his life as well. All right, so strategy number 1 is harvest the customers from other businesses' fruit baskets. When the economy or the market is shrinking, you need a larger percentage of that shrinking pie. And one of the quickest ways to do that is to get referrals from other aligned businesses, to create referral relationships. And I teach what's called the joint ventures system. It's about creating these joint venture partnerships with realtors, designers, remodeling contractors, carpet cleaning companies, house cleaning companies, property management, anybody that has anything to do with the home and can potentially send you referrals. Joint ventures, these relationships work more like oil wells than oil cans. So what do I mean by that? Oil cans are transactions. You buy a can of oil, or you go out and get a can of oil, and then you got to go get another can of oil and another can of oil. That's being transaction oriented, and it's how many floor dealers operate. Versus digging an oil well. When you dig an oil well, you do the work one time up front, and it produces oil year after year after year. And you're only, the only thing you have to do is maintain that well. It helps recession-proof your business when times are bad, and when times are good, it helps you grow your business and take it to all new permanent levels of success. So how do you get those referrals? So I'm going to give you a 3-step system for quickly generating referral partnerships. Step 1 is, actually, before you start the 3 steps, you want to make a list of any businesses in your area you can align with. Now, the top 3 that I recommend that you start with, first is realtors, remodeling contractors, and designers. Start with them. Make a list of all of those business categories, all the people that are involved in those businesses, the business owners. in your area that you would like to work with, and leave off people who don't have a great reputation, or people who you don't want to work with. But depending on the size of your area, you should be able to get dozens to perhaps hundreds of potential referral partners. Okay. Now, if you live in an area where real estate is really taking off, you may be really doing well right now, you might want to focus on realtors. Okay. Every time a house is bought or sold, not every time, but often the flooring gets replaced. In fact, a lot of you probably already have relationships with realtors, designers, interior contractors. Okay. So first thing you want to do after you compile the list is you want to approach 3 to 5 of them at a time. And you want to use a 3-step system. The first thing you want to do is send them something unusual in the mail. We use what's called a dollar bill letter. We actually have our dealers staple a dollar bill to the top of a letter. And it says, the headline says, I've attached, or the opening of the letter says, as you can see, I've attached a nice crisp $1 bill to this letter. Why have I done that? Reason number 1 is because I needed a quick way to get your attention. Reason number 2 is because I have an idea that can help us make a lot more money for both our businesses. So I thought the dollar bill was appropriate. And reason number 3, I wanted you to make $1 from my idea right away. So here's your first $1. So something making it kind of fun, something interesting. Mail it to them using. You want to snail mail this to them. Don't send it via email, or don't send the message LinkedIn or anything like that. You want to send it in the mail. And if you really want to get creative with it, send it via FedEx or some other express delivery, because people sort their mail over a trash can. You want to get your letter opened, and they open it and there's money stapled to the top. So you've gotten, first of all, you've made the first cut. They're not going to throw it in the trash can, right? Because they're going to open a FedEx envelope, or if you send it in a big manila envelope with a handwritten address and live stamps on it, they're absolutely going to open that. Okay. Once they do, they're going to see that dollar bill, or we've used lotto scratchers or other teasers at the top of the envelope or the letter to create, interest, make it interesting, make it fun. And in there, you tell them, hey, I'm going to call you in a week so we can discuss the possibility of us forming a referral partnership. So that's step 1, send something interesting in the mail or unusual in the mail. Step 2 is you do a follow-up call. Now on that follow-up call, that letter turns it from a cold call into a warm call. They've gotten the letter from you. They're expecting to hear from you. So when you call in, it's not like some telemarketer calling in and, harassing them to buy whatever product you're selling. They know that you're going to call. And the third step is you set up an appointment with them, a coffee, to go have lunch or something, or meet at their place of business, or have them meet you at your place of business, so you can talk about forming a referral partnership. Okay. Once the partnership is established, what you've just done is that, I know that sounds like a lot of work, but you've just dug the oil well. Now all you need to do is maintain that well, and it'll continue to produce referrals month after month, year after year. And you do that by, by visiting the businesses that you partner with, going to lunch with the business owners, by doing those things that help develop and strengthen that relationship. Jerome implemented this strategy at the beginning, right when we began working together. And he said, my referral partners send me between $500,000 and $700,000 per year. Now think about that. These referrals don't cost Jerome anything. What marketing could you possibly do? How much would it cost you through traditional advertising, any kind of cold advertising, to generate $500,000 to $700,000 a year? You're going to spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to generate that kind of revenue. Well, Jerome's getting that just through referrals. Oh, My slide's stuck here. Hang on. There we go. So Jerome only has 20 referral partners. So that means each referral partner is worth between $25,000 and $35,000 a year. Okay. So if you get 10 realtors or 10 remodeling contractors or 10 people who make up a combination of those different businesses, you're looking at, you know, $250,000 to $350,000 a year in additional revenue. Okay. And the thing, what makes this work, what makes this so powerful is that when you do go into a tough time, recession wise, downturn in the market, you've got all these other sources sending you business. Okay. Paul, he owns Superior Floors in Littletown, New York. He has 6 referral partners. They generate about $150,000 a year in revenue for his business. That means each partner is worth $25,000 a year. Now, here's the thing about Jerome and Paul is they set up these partnerships a number of years ago. They did the work. Jerome did the work back in 2011, 2012. I mean, years ago, he put the work in, and he still has these relationships that are sending him a huge chunk of business. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about customer referrals and how to turn one job into multiple jobs. You all know the difference between somebody who comes in because they drove by and they saw your sign, or if they saw a Google ad, or if they, you know, heard you on the radio, versus someone who comes in because they were referred to you. Okay. When someone comes in who's referred to you, it's easier to get full margin. They trust you more. The buying cycle is much shorter. They're much less likely to shop around. Much easier to close a sale. The average ticket is generally higher. Think back to your last 10 jobs of $10,000 or more. How many of those came from either repeat or referred clients? And I'll bet you out of the last 10, 7 or 8 of them did. That's because those big jobs generally go to referrals. Okay. So having a system in place to on purpose generate referrals will help you dramatically increase your revenue without spending a bunch of money in advertising. So there's actually a couple of parts to the referral, to having a strong referral system in place. The first thing is to simply ask for them. Okay. We work a lot with dealers and their sales teams on how to ask for referrals and how to get referrals. That's the first part. The second part of the referrals I'm going to get to in just a minute. But I want to cover this briefly here because it's worth doing, and it's worth training your team on how to ask for and get referrals. So at the end of a job, you've had this happen where your client is just going on and on, gushing about what a fantastic job you did, how great the floors look. Well, that's the time to ask for a referral. You know, Mrs. Jones, you know, we like to work with people who know us, like us, and trust us. And so, you know, over 30% of our business comes from referrals. Who's the next person you know who needs flooring right now? And there's a good chance that somebody in their sphere of influence has mentioned to them that they're going to need flooring too, because they've been talking about getting new flooring. It's a big, big deal for them. Okay. When somebody's getting new flooring, they're telling their friends, they're telling their people at their church, at their health club, at their job. They're excited about it. Oh yeah, we're going to get new floors in next week. Oh really? You know, our floors, we're going to need to get them replaced soon. Let us know who you use, you know, and how they do. And so it's an opportunity to tap into that and turn one job into 2. I also recommend having some kind of referral reward. So if somebody sends you a referral, send them, you know, a gift certificate, dinner for 2 at a nice restaurant, send them movie passes, do something tangible to thank them for that referral. Okay. How many times have you referred a restaurant or other business You've done it. You've done it many times. We all do this. But how many of those businesses thanked you for the referral? Okay, probably not very many. Maybe none of them. So when somebody comes in who's referred to you, send the person who sent them to you a nice gift and thank them for it. Okay, that's going to make them want to send more referrals. They're going to talk about you. Walt Disney said that whatever you do, do it so well and so uniquely that others can't help but talk about you. And then reach out to the people who are referred to you. And if somebody says, yeah, my mother-in-law, she's going to be needing flooring. Well, you can have gift certificate. An easy way to reach out to her is to have gift certificates pre-printed, and you just fill out the person's name, make a gift certificate for $200. And I recommend having it tiered. So to get the full $200, they got to buy at least, $2,500 worth of flooring. But you give it to the daughter-in-law and say, here, I'm gonna give you a gift certificate for your mother-in-law. It's good for 30 days. Here you go. It's a way to prompt them to come in and visit you before they visit anybody else, okay? All right, so you should be training your team on how to ask for and dig for those referrals. And that's really that's a non-invasive, non-pressure way to just say, hey, we love referrals. We'd like your referrals. We're going to treat them like gold. And by the way, here's a gift certificate that you can give the person you'd like to refer to us, okay? All right. Now, this is a big one. I've saved the best, what I consider the best for last, and that's marketing to your past customers. Like I said, the vast majority of dealers do not market to their past customers, and it's a gigantic mistake. You're leaving hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of revenue on the table that's rightfully yours. Mark is a floor dealer from Illinois. And this is another story from back when our market was collapsing. So for those of you who are facing some tough times, I think you'll find his story inspiring. Mark had been in business for 19 years. This is in 2008. Been in business for 19 years, and he started the business himself. He and his wife, and then later on his son. They just poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this business. And it evolved such that it was 80% new construction. 80% of their business was coming from new construction in 2008. And what happened in 2008? The entire housing market collapsed. In fact, it was so bad that in his area, his market area, his county put a moratorium on building permits. They were not allowed to start new homes because there were so many foreclosures going on. Okay, Mark, he tells me about a time he was out in his warehouse when he was just watching his business implode. He's there late at night. It's no one else, everyone else has gone home. He's literally praying, God, what do I do? I am losing almost 20 years worth of work. I'm supporting my family. I've got salespeople that are counting on this business. What do I do? And he described to me one of the darkest, most stressful, most frightening times of his life. And some of you that made it through, who were in business during that time, can relate to that. And so Mark found out about Flooring Success Systems. He gave me a call. We talked on the phone, and he said, do you think there's any hope? Can we save my business? And I said, yeah, but you're going to need to act quickly. Well, Mark began implementing right away. And he was an implementing machine because he was desperate to save his business. Well, within 6 months, he had transformed his business from a new construction business to a residential remodel retail business. He was now 90% residential remodel. and he was having to find new salespeople and new, installation crews just to keep up with all the additional work. In 6 months, he did this. And he did a number of strategies to make this happen. But the number one thing, the biggest turn of the crank that he did to help transform his business was what I'm going to share with you now. And that is, he began marketing to his past customers using the 90-10 formula. So first of all, why should you market to your past customers? Well, there's a few reasons you should be communicating with them on at least once a month. And the reason is they're the only people who have proven that they will give you money in exchange for flooring. They're the only, right? Yet most dealers ignore them. They do nothing to directly reach out to them, to strengthen that relationship, to deepen that relationship, to get more referrals from them, to get more repeat business, to create total top of mind awareness. They don't do any of that. Instead, they spend all their time, energy, and money out chasing cold strangers who don't know them and trying to get them to buy from them instead of Home Depot or RC Willey or Lowe's or whatever, okay? Like I said, you can do the tiers 2 and 3, and it's appropriate, prioritized correctly, but it's madness, folks, to be spending a fortune on those marketing strategies, yet completely ignore the people who have helped you build your business, that are responsible for your business being where it's at today, okay? Now, what we use and what we teach floor dealers, what we do for floor dealers is what's called the 90-10 formula. What that means is you don't want to spam your list, either email or snail mail, with nothing but 10% off postcards or 99-cent, LVT emails or whatever. If you do that, you're mostly going to get ignored, okay? Why is that? Because in any given month, most of your list doesn't need flooring right then, okay? So you don't want to bore them with 100% flooring content. 100% flooring content, all flooring is all boring, okay? What you want to do is you want to make 90% of your communication fun, informative, welcome, entertaining, relationship building content, and only about 10% about flooring. So think about a magazine subscription. When you get a magazine, is it just nothing but advertisements? Of course not. No one would read it. It's got articles that you're interested in. It's got things in there that you actually care about and want to read. You want to do the same thing with your communications to your past clients. You want to do things like include emotional triggers that get them to open it, read it, and respond to it, okay? All right, so let's take a look at an example. Now, I told you at the beginning that I'm only going to be showing you things that we actually have floor dealers using right now in the real world to generate real dollars in the trenches, down and dirty. This isn't textbook theory, okay? And so let me make sure Brandon, give me a thumbs up if you can see the neighborhood advisor.
We see the example slide right now.
All right, I thought that might happen. Hang on. How about now?
Awesome.
Good, okay. So the neighborhood advisor is a publication that we create. We publish it every month for our floor dealers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dissect this for you, break it down so that if you want to create your own newsletter, you can duplicate what we've done, okay? So as we go through it here, I want you to take notes and I want you to pay attention to the little emotional triggers, client involvement devices, and things that make people actually want to read this publication. So first of all, it's got a picture of the owner here. This is Christian Jensen. And as you can see, it's not a studio photo. It's very personal. It's just a selfie he took in his flooring store. We did that on purpose. People want to do business with people, not big impersonal corporations, okay? And what this piece does is it helps you humanize you, make people connect with the real person who's behind your flooring store, the real people, you, your team, your installation crew. So we use just a friendly photo that is just a real human being, not a studio produced, glam shot. Okay. We have an opening message from Christian. We write these for our dealers. Dealers have the option of putting it, writing their own if they want, but it's just a little personal message about, what's going on that month, what's been happening in their family, what's been going on in the business. Okay. This newsletter happens to be from last January. We always include a calendar with different holidays coming up that makes it fun to read. We have right here what's called our mystery winner. And every month we pick Christian picks a mystery winner at random, doesn't announce it until the newsletter. So what does this make people want to do? It makes them want to open it. Hey, am I the mystery winner this month? And so we have them give away Starbucks cards, movie tickets or whatever. And what we do is it says we have a $10 swig card. That's a coffee shop reserved just for you. Come by our store to claim your prize. So what do? When Tasha shows up at the store, get her photo of the salesperson or a staff member handing her gift certificate. What do we do with that photo? It goes on social media. It goes on future newsletters. It goes in our email promotions. We're getting quadruple duty out of this. What does all of that do? Creates connections, makes people want to do business with you. All the people that know Tasha Holt are going to say, oh, wow, Tasha used, Get Floored. So maybe we should too. It's social proof. Okay. Here's just a general interest article about surprising facts about winter weather. Okay. Our mega trivia contest. So every month there's a trivia contest, and you should absolutely include this in your newsletter if you do this. Have a some kind of multiple choice question like this: which side of a building do icicles most often form on, north, south, east, or west? Okay. And to enter, they email Get Floored, and everybody that's entered gets entered into a drawing to win pizza at the Pizza Factory. And you can choose whatever restaurant, you can make it movie tickets, you can do whatever you want there. So what does this do? And then we also say, congratulations to last month's winner, Mackenzie Henson, answer, and we give the answer to last month's trivia contest. So what does this do? This creates client involvement. This makes people want to interact with your business, okay? It creates those connections. Here's another general interest article about scheduling your summer vacation. Here's testimonials from other clients. We have a client of the month. All of these are elements you should include in your newsletter. We started including a puzzle on the back because we found that we did it for a while, then stopped, and then people said, hey, our kids really love the puzzle. You know what happened? So now we include the puzzle. And every month, all the customers who got these kids who where's my word search or my crossword puzzle, whatever, makes them want to open it and respond to it. Thanking the previous clients. And then here's where it ties into a way to get more referrals. The night at the movies. Get a night out for two. Get a night out at the movies for two with my referral rewards program. So, and this could be movies, it could be dinner, it's whatever you want it to be. And what it does, it basically explains, hey, we love referrals. We want your referrals. Rather than spending money on a bunch of advertising, we'd rather give you great service and really treat you right in your referrals. Send us referrals. And when you do, hey, you're going to get a little spiff here. And so what it does is by staying in contact with your past customers, total top of mind awareness in this way, you're tapping into a much larger list of those potential referrals. Don't kid yourself that 3 years later, after somebody buys flooring, that they even remember the name of your store, okay? They're not hopping out of bed in the morning thinking, wow, I wonder who I can refer to Jimbo's Floors today. There's a good chance they've even forgotten the name of your store. We don't like to think that, but it happens. So if you've got 1,000 past clients on your database, 1,000 past people who purchased from you, each one of those people knows at least 100 people, probably 200, and maybe more. So that means within your 1,000 person database, you're tapping into 100,000 potential referrals, okay? So by marketing continuously to your past customer list, you're going to not only increase your repeat business, but you're going to increase that referral business, okay? All right, I'm going to make sure that you can see this. Hang on. We good? Can you see the slide? Awesome. Just want to make sure. Okay. All right. So here's just some examples of what dealers have had to say about using the strategy. Jim, I went from nearly closing my doors to being booked out for weeks. That's Mark. We talked about him. We went from nearly going out of business to opening our second store. Remember that your customers sort their mail over a trash can. That includes email or snail mail. So you want to make it so that it's fun. They look forward to getting it. Okay, so it makes the cut. All right, I'm going to skip some of these for time's sake. And these are success strategies. These are just success stories from other dealers who are begin marketing to their past customers. So some other things you can do once you've got a newsletter strategy in place is you can get double, triple, quadruple duty from it. Okay, so put everybody on your sphere of influence, even if they haven't bought from you. You know, friends, relatives, people you go to church with, members of your, if you're part of BNI or LATIP or any business networking group, put them on the list. Same with your team sphere of influence, your salespeople. And then your referral partners. So if you have realtors, designers, remodeling contractors, anybody who's sending you referrals, put them on the list because it gives you a way to stay in front of them and keep that total top of mind awareness, along with testimonials and social proof and all those things that make people absolutely want to work with you. It's a great way to generate extra business. So you can literally get quadruple, quintuple duty out of this marketing piece, okay? Now, want to wrap up with a couple words to help you in terms of actually making a difference in your business. How many times have you gone to a webinar or a seminar, gone to Surfaces or wherever and sat through, you know, a great seminar, a great training, and you took a whole bunch of notes and you were excited about, you know, taking it back, getting to work in your business and making changes and improving your business. But then when you get back, you know, your salesperson calls in sick, a customer calls in with a complaint about, you know, an installation problem, one fire after another comes up, and then it happens the next day and the next day and the next day. And pretty soon, all those notes, along with your dreams for improving your business, are collecting dust on a shelf somewhere. I don't want this to happen to you. So hopefully you are taking notes, like I said at the beginning. Don't get overwhelmed by everything I just told you. Pick one thing out of all the strategies we talked about, circle it, highlight it, and take action today to get it up and running in your business, okay? Tony Robbins says, if you're going to make a change in your life, make a change in your business, do something today, no matter how small. Because if you say, I'll start tomorrow, tomorrow becomes a week, and a week becomes a month, and a month becomes a year, and a year becomes never. Okay? Do something today. Now, we're here to help you get this stuff implemented. If you'd like, or you think you might like our help getting these things up and running in your business, That's what we do. We create these newsletters. We have the selling systems, the joint venture strategy that I talked about. This is stuff that we do for dealers. If you'd like to, instead of going it alone, you think you might want some help with it, we'd love to help you. So just call or email for a free dealership diagnostic. What I'll do is I'll meet with you personally. We're going to talk about your goals, what you want, where you see your business in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years. We're going to talk about what's working for you right now. We're also going to talk about what's not working. What are your big business challenges? And then, I will give you a plan to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. We'll also talk about, if having us help you implement these things makes sense in your dealership. Just send us an email at support@flooringsuccesssystems.com, or you can call our office at 877-887-5791. It's all on the screen there. We'd love to chat with you. Okay, Brandon, that's all I've got.
You're the man. I appreciate it, Jim. It's funny. I was listening to your story about Mark. I think it resonated with me a lot. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people here today. The concept of having to adapt, to have to change your whole business. At least in 2007, 2008, people could still go into stores. There wasn't maybe a lot of money. There wasn't a propensity perhaps to spend, but, we didn't have to turn everything on its head. And in an industry that's so intimate, the experience going in and seeing it, how do you adapt to the more, the new retail reality? And that's where Roomvo really comes into play. And that's sort of the theme that I've been hearing from all the retailers that I've spoken to. And so I'm going to get right into the big announcement that I know I hyped up. Can you see the screen that says welcome to Roomvo?
See it.
Awesome. I'm going to close this box over here. So this is just a demo website. In the bottom right-hand corner, though, you're going to see the Roomvo assistant that you guys have all seen before. And when you open it, you're going to see 4 brands. I've helped so many dealers add the Roomvo assistant to their website. And I can tell you that time and time again, I get asked the same question over and over and over again. We add the widget and someone says to me, this is awesome, but all these other manufacturers that I work with, they also have Roomvo. How do we get their brands on our visualizer? And we do this whole process where I give them the list of brands that are available at that point. They fill it out, they submit it. And within a week, our team goes ahead and they add those brands to the visualizer. Today, I'm very excited to announce Roomvo Pro. This is a platform dedicated for dealers, specifically for your Roomvo assistant. And it's going to have a ton of features as time goes on. But today, when you open up the menu and you select suppliers, you're going to see a screen that happens to have the same 4 suppliers that this Roomvo assistant has. In the top right, you're going to be able to add suppliers by clicking this button, searching for any supplier that you want, clicking on the logo, and I kid you not, it's that easy. You're going to refresh your website, scroll down, and the brand that you just added is going to be there, and their products are going to be available in your visualizer to use. And that would be awesome if that was the only announcement today. But I'm telling you that time and time again, the next question that gets asked is, hey, we have all these brands in our visualizer, but we only carry some of their collections in our store. Up until today, I've said the same thing to you guys over and over again. If you're going to add a brand, please expect to have all of their products in the visualizer. But not only today can you change which brands are available in your visualizer, but by clicking on a brand, you can now select within seconds the collections that you carry from that brand. And when you go into your visualizer, your customers are only going to be able to see the products from the collections that you selected. That means that for the first time ever, we're not only putting the power of brands, but also collections in your hand. It takes quite literally seconds to do it. And we're not showing you a really cool feature that's going to be available in a couple of months from now. This feature is available right now. It is going to roll out to you guys for joining this webinar first. So within the next 24 hours or so, you're going to get an email with your login information, and you are going to be the only dealers that can use this platform for the next week until we roll this out at a larger scale. I now kind of just want to give you guys a big thanks, and I kind of want to thank a bunch of different people for tuning in today. I think first and foremost, I really got to just thank my team at Roomvo. I have the best job. I get to talk to you guys. You guys give us all the cool stories, and I'm the first person to hear them. Uh, Honestly, I have little to do with all the features that you see on the screen there. That's mostly you guys passing the information to me and our amazing team that's working day in and day out to make it happen. So a huge kudos to them. The second, obviously, to Jim and Jolynn. His wife was tremendous in helping us kind of orchestrate this whole thing. So a huge thank you to both of you. And obviously a thank you to you guys, our customers. Without you guys, there's no webinar, that's for sure, but there's surely no Roomvo. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to join us, and obviously taking the time out of your day all the time to share your success stories with us and just give us feedback about the tool. So as I wrap this up, Jim, obviously these people today, they heard some awesome stuff from you. If they want to learn more, where can they go?
Well, I'll just put that same slide back up that I had. Just go to the, you can email support@flooringsuccesssystems.com, or just give us a call, 877-887-5791, and we'd love to chat with you.
Awesome. And you know what I see here, Scott Newman asked in the chat, will there be a recording of this? Absolutely. I will pass the recording around as well, so you guys can go through it again, but expect that in the email from me shortly. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you.